Hey everybody, it's Ant. Yes, I'm still over here in China with my Merlin. Thank God it's keeping me sane. I'm off of hell for I'm off of work for 4 or 5 days, so I'm going to take advantage of this time and actually make a few videos. I've got some new stuff coming. I've got some new wave 80s poppy type stuff. I've got some good old Canadian Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles, parental advisory stuff. I've got a new original coming up here that I've got the music I think pretty much down, and now I've got to kind of finalize on whether I want to add lyrics or not. I might hit you with that. And also I'm going to send out a video here to Ellen Coleman, who asked me something that I probably should address more but rarely ever do, and that's the strumming, how I strum on the Merlin, which is kind of a valid question because it's a very different instrument for me in that regard, because I'm used to, as you can see behind me here, a ukulele guy. I've got over 20 ukuleles and I've played them almost exclusively for over a decade. So when it comes to these metal strings, yikes, it's a little bit interesting for me. Now when it comes to strumming as well, I'm a horrible nail biter. Stress does this to me. I had grown my nails out specifically for playing instruments and the Merlin, but yeah, I've had a relapse. This makes it difficult for me to strum sometimes because these small metal strings, once I get going on them, and the fact that I don't have nails to protect my fingertips, I can actually get myself a bleeding if I'm not careful. That's bad though, that's not good. So sometimes I have to resort to a pick. I personally don't like picks, being a vinyl string ukulele playing kind of guy, but I do have them, and by far, I'm just trying to pick one up here. Again, I mentioned I have no fingernails. The traditional plastic pick is quite popular for metal strings. It's loud, it has a nice crisp tone. What I don't like about it being a ukulele guy, again, is it bothers me, the sound of the pick hitting the metal strings, and I'm not very good with it, so I'm often hitting the wood too, and that's kind of throwing off my rhythm. So I'm not a big fan of it. If I were going to give a performance in a large place or in a noisy place where I wanted people to hear me, I might use a plastic pick, but otherwise I would not. Another option is a felt pick. It sounds like this. It's a lot smoother, a little bit duller, and not quite as loud. But when your fingers are trashed for whatever reason, it's a nice option. It doesn't have as much of the scratching sound against the wood and the strings. So another choice, though my preference is always fingertips. Again, partially because of being a ukulele guy and partially because of another thing that I'll show you in a minute. But let's get down to the actual strumming itself. The way I typically strum, now it'll be weird for me because I'm holding it up near my chin so that the camera gets it. When people say, well, can you write out the strum pattern, with the up arrows and down arrows? I can't really. I suck at that. It's not that I don't want to, it's just I can't read them and I can't use them, so I don't really make them. Because what I do is I just go by ear. I go by what I'm hearing in the song, the rhythm, and then I start adding my own. The most common rhythm that I've found to play that works for almost any song ever is down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, believe it or not, take my word for it. Try different songs and just play that just that down, down, up, down, up. Rhythm works with like almost everything. Seriously. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay? As far as anything more than that, I go by the individual song. Hey everybody, sorry for the interruption. That was just the daughter on her way back from her weekend classes, or one of them. Anyway, we were talking about strumming. and we looked at the picks, we looked at the fingertips, and we talked a little bit about the patterns, the strumming patterns. Like I said, I generally just go by ear. I don't write them down. But what I will show you now is the different ways that I strum, okay? Now, Ellen had asked for me to put it in slow motion, but I'll show you in a way I don't think you really need slow motion. Now, it's pretty much, without using the pick, there's pretty much 3 different ways that I strum that are all based on the ukulele. And they seem to work really well here. As far as finger picking, I don't really have any finger picking techniques for the Merlin figured out at this point. I would just kind of fiddle and diddle with it until it sounded kind of cool. But for strumming, I'll show you 3 different ways that I do it. Now, strumming is always going to be up and down, and it's just a matter of how many times in one direction you go before you start the other way. You could just do a typical 1-1 strum where it's 1 up, 1 down, or you could do a 2-2 where it's 2 and then 2 up. Right? There's lots of different ways you can strum that way. But I'm going to show you what I actually do with my fingers. Now, let's see if I can get this so you can see it better. My preferred way of strumming is with my hand open, kind of like this, where I'm strumming down with my fingertips, typically my first 2 fingers. And then when I come up, instead of using the pads of my fingers like this, I go down with my fingertips and up with the tip of my thumb. So it's like this. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? Pretty basic. And I'll tell you in a minute why I do it this way. Okay? Okay, so let me show you another way you could do this as well. Now, you could do it as if you're holding an actual pick. This is easier for a lot of people who are just beginning, where you strum down with your pointer fingertip and then up with your thumb, and then these fingers aren't involved. And then it's more like you're holding a pick. So for people that are getting used to strumming who have been using a pick exclusively for a long time, you might find this easier, right? And then the third way that I do sometimes use, and I use often on ukulele, is just 1 finger, being my pointer finger. And I just play with, instead of my finger nail, I play with the pad, going up and down. And this gives a softer tone as opposed to the fingernails, right? So the 3 ways here, we have the open hand where I play my fingers down, thumb up, fingers down, thumb up. I'm playing with 2 fingers down and my thumb up, right? Second way, a virtual pick. It's going up and down using the fingernails on the pointer finger and the thumb. And then the third way, using the pad. Now, the reason that I prefer the open finger method, where my fingers and thumb are separate, is because it's easier to get fancy and play things like triplets, or what I assume are triplets. Let me show you what that means. So instead of playing up, down, up, down, up, where just my fingertips are going down, when I want to play a little bit fancier or faster, I'll play my fingertips down and my thumb down, and then my thumb up. So it's fingertips, thumb, thumb, fingertips, thumb, thumb, fingertips, thumb, thumb. Now it seems a little awkward right now, doing it slowly, but it literally changes a down up strum like this into this, which if you get going really fast, which is the same speed as doing this. Once you've practiced this a lot, I'm much better on the ukulele doing it than I am on this. You can make very flamenco-ish music. You can hit the strings incredibly quickly. And you can just also use it for a little embellishment when you're playing something. Anyway, it's that motion again is down with the fingers, down with the thumb, up with the thumb. Down with the fingers, down with the thumb, up with the thumb. And it gives it a triplet effect. So you're, instead of doing a 1-2 beat, you're doing a 1-2-3. 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1. Right? A lot of fun. So basically, I guess that's all there really is to it. I wish I could tell you more, Ellen, but that's about all I know. I really do play by ear, and I prefer to strum fingers down, thumb up, separately. I hope that helps a bit anyway.